Once a year, the ocean pulls back and reveals a world few ever witness. This is the lowest tide of the year, and we're diving straight into it. In just one tide cycle, we discovered rare marine life, met a freediving legend, and explored one of the most colorful reefs on Vancouver Island.
Hey adventurers, welcome back to BC Adventures. I'm Ryan Swan and we just dove the lowest tide of the year.
I've got two new dive buddies today, Scot Verleun and Jesse Taylor, and we had an unexpected meetup with freediving and snorkeling legend Sara Ellison. We even got a chance to hear her take on this site and some of the incredible marine life that calls it home.
And we're diving at 7751 West Coast Road in Sauk, BC.
At this tide, the reef is almost unrecognizable. Barnacles cling to every surface, each one a small volcano-shaped crustacean, and then deer picking their way down to the beach. Diving this site at low tide isn't for everyone. Big tidal swings means currents can change quickly, and a wrong turn can turn into a workout. If you know the reef, you can navigate it almost any time. But the ocean is unpredictable. Always do your own research and dive within your limits. Right away, I spotted the split branch feather duster worm, a worm that lives in a tube it builds from sand and shell fragments. Its crown is divided into two distinct plumes, which it uses to filter plankton from water. For comparison, here's the northern feather duster worm I filmed at Steep Island. Notice how its feeding crown forms a single rounded fan? Both are masters at underwater filtration. Can you tell them apart? Let us know in the comments. Then, a flash of color. A clown Dorid. These Nudibranchs feed exclusively on certain sponges, absorbing their toxins and turning them into chemical defenses. Even their bright colors warn predators. I'm dangerous. Don't touch.
On one reef wall, the Oregon Triton, a giant snail, a predator, and a parent. Here she lays her eggs, one spiral at a time, hundreds in each capsule. And when they hatch, the young drift. 4.5 years at sea. That's not survival, that's endurance.
Back on shore, the tide was creeping in, and that's when I met her, Sara Ellison, a freediver who's explored this site more times than most divers ever will, and all in a single breath.
Hi, I'm here with Sara Ellison. I bumped into Sara and her friend Michelle freediving just after our scuba dive today. We started chatting about scuba diving and snorkeling and freediving in the area, and we thought it'd be nice to welcome her onto BC Adventures and talk a little bit about what it's like for snorkeling and freediving here, because I know a lot about scuba diving, but I don't know anything about snorkeling and freediving at this site.
Well, I discovered this spot thanks to scuba divers, because scuba divers come here. I was watching the message boards and thinking, I should go and check that, because sometimes places that are good for scuba diving are no good for snorkeling.
Right.
But this is, I think, a spot that can appeal to everyone. So if you come at a nice slow tide, when there's not much current, the reefs are just poking up through the surface.
Yeah.
And so if you're a fan of kelp and seaweed, to get all of that on the surface. Right. In the shallows, lots of sea cucumbers, urchins. We saw several nudibranchs today. And then if you have a bit of free dive ability, you can get down. Even just 5 meters or so, we saw striped sunstars, giant pinks. We saw a Velcro star, which I don't see very often. But the other thing that's really nice at this time of year is seeing the baby bull kelp coming up. And actually, I even saw the first Nudibranchs of the year on the blades.
I saw one too, actually. Yeah, I was waving at, get over here and look at this. It's so cool to see the hooded nudibranchs.
And in the autumn is where I find is the best time to see them all along the sea coast. Ironline Bay as well, but there are some really nice kelp patches here, and so October I find is the best time to come see them.
The hooded nudies here, I don't think they get as big as they do like up island. You see them, some of the ones up over near like Port Harding area get quite large. They're a little bit smaller down here from what I've seen, but still fantastic creatures to look at.
And then the other treat, which I know both of us saw today, was sunflower stars.
Yes!
Right, so not the really big adults, but maybe the teenagers, because the ones that we saw were about this size, nice bright orange ones. And as we were just talking about earlier, they are on the critically endangered species list, and yet here we are, so lucky to be able to see them pretty much every time.
I think we saw maybe 5 or 6 today, and it is always a treat to see the sunflower sea stars. The giant pink sea stars were everywhere today.
Yeah.
I saw so many of
and
them.
so big. I mean, the moniker really did them justice. The sort of central body was really puffed up. I had the impression that they just gobbled up an entire urchin or something. They were really wicked for breakfast.
She wasn't kidding. These pink sea stars are giants. They're one of the largest sea stars in the world. They don't move fast, but they're tenacious hunters. Up close, their 5 thick arms and bubblegum pink color almost make them look unreal. And if you're thinking they look a little bit like Patrick Star from SpongeBob, yeah, me too. Only this Patrick Star doesn't live under a rock in Bikini Bottom. All jokes aside, spotting them here at the lowest tide of the year made this dive one I'll never forget.
So what I find is interesting is that so many of the species that you get to see diving, we snorkelers and freedivers can also see. Sometimes we have to work a bit harder,
Yes.
to hold our breath and go down, and harder to do the photography when you're floating around. But I think that there is really a lot here for snorkelers and freedivers as well as the swimmers.
Well, thank you so much. I'm so fortunate to run into you guys here. So thank you for coming on BC Adventures. I look forward to running into you guys, maybe doing some snorkeling and freediving with you in the future.
Yeah, we'll be in the water again together.
With each passing minute, the reef disappeared. Colors faded beneath the tide, and the shoreline returned to its familiar shape. The performance was over, for now. If you want to learn more about snorkeling and freediving in this area, check out Sara Ellison's book, Snorkeling Adventures Around Vancouver Island and the Gulf Islands. And if you're looking for more scuba diving at this exact site, when to go, where to enter, and what to look for, watch my dive guide episode on 7751 West Coast Road. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next tide on
BC Adventures.